Gone are the days when Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah stood on the podium of the Accra Sports Stadium and campaigned with this famous quote: "Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever." 56 years later, and Ghanaian politics has changed due to the development of social media and new media. Join me, Nana Adjoa Bonsu Sarkodie Mensah, on a journey to explore the platform that social media and new media gives to politicians in Ghana to reach Ghanaians abroad. Akufo-Addo has 4,300 followers on Twitter, Mahama has 5,300, and Indum has more than 10,000 followers on Facebook. This digital technology has allowed the politicians to engage in a new level of conversation with the voters, transforming campaign into something more dynamic and much more of a dialogue than ever before. Twitter, Vimeo, MySpace, Flickr, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter.
The first segment of our program, where we are going to discuss the impact of social media, the influence of social media for Ghanaians abroad or in the diaspora, how they interact with politicians back home or with the political systems in Ghana, and look in different ways, the new form of media, old version of media which has been improvised, and other subsequent media initiatives taken, how people will actually influence the political processes or the social policy systems in Ghana. Specifically, we might probably have to diverge and look at other countries, but we'll always focus on Ghana. So with me, I've got wonderful distinguished ladies and gentlemen here with us, and that is Jeffrey, Getty, Ernest, myself, Aibel, and Sheila, Kobe, Ivy, and then Beverly. So we will start off with Jeffrey, of course, to tell us what does he think the impact of social media has been for Ghanaians, with Ghanaians, and for Ghanaian politicians in Ghana, and how they relate and interact with Ghanaians all over the world. So Jeffrey.
Well, thank you. I just want to say social media has opened up the world to us, Ghanaians in the diaspora. A few years back, we didn't used to have those privileges where we are in touch with Ghana at an instant. But social media has changed all of that at this moment, and now we can just get information from Ghana within a matter of seconds, be it an app on your phone or your internet. You know, we are just in touch with our community just by a click of a button.
The word "in touch" there is very, very, very important for Ghanaians outside. Anybody else wants to add to what Jeffrey just said?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think social media has contributed a lot. I mean, in terms of financially, personally, as a personal point, gone are the days as recent as 5 years ago, where a lot of us in the diaspora used to buy a lot of phone cards to call back home to get in touch with,
what's going on in the yes.
But now with the new emergence of these new stuff, the social media, the Facebook, Instagram.
So you basically get it for free.
Well,
you save money.
Absolutely, you do get it for free. You get information on those things from those places. So I think from an economical side of things, I think it's contributed immensely.
He's just highlighted an important aspect of interacting with politicians back home, that he's considering the financial implication he had before, and now social media is coming to cut it off. So the acquisition of that information is so important. Now, somebody can delve deep to tell us why you need that information so bad. You're trying to find alternative ways to acquire information at no cost. Will somebody just come in? Why do we think we have to know what the politicians are doing? We have to interact with them. Why do we have to do that? Through social media. Every social media whatsoever. I'll come to the point where you specifically tell us how he's cutting costs in relation to that. But the emphasis is on the interaction.
Yeah.
So I want someone to come in. Why do you want to know what the politicians are doing? Why do you want to know? We are abroad, we live in a democratic system, perfect one, it's a nice society. Why do you want to know what's going on in Ghana?
I think it's important, even though we're not necessarily living in Ghana, we are Ghanaians, and we still, that is our country, that's where we're from. And we have some kind of responsibility to actually know what's going on and try and contribute in whatever way that we can. And social media opens up that forum for us. It gives us a voice because you have things like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. There's so many other things that you can just go and have a voice. And I think things like Facebook...
Have a voice on social media.
On social media.
That the politicians...
That they can hear, because there are forums. Because I think Facebook has moved away from just being somewhere you can just put your picture or your friends comment on, but now it's going a step higher where an issue comes out, somebody puts it on the status, and people very passionately comment on that. Some people might put articles...
You know what, I'll buttress your point. Once again, I'll buttress your point. A couple of weeks ago, somebody put up a picture of the president, Mahama, in a very unsavory way.
Yeah.
And the security services actually arrested the guy who was in London. He was arrested for even posting such a picture on his page. So that's how far the social media thing has got, based on that. So you say it gives us a voice.
Yeah.
You see, in the same way as well, it gives the politicians a voice. In that there's an election petition going on in Ghana at the moment where we just had an election in 2012 in December, and the one party is contesting their results. So now one of the I think his name is the one who was supposed to be the vice president.
Bawumia.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I went onto his page. I was just browsing on Facebook, and I went onto his page, and you'll be amazed as to how much he's actually put on.
It's actually put on social media.
Absolutely, and the comments, and he's trying to get his point across, and his followers.
No, hold on. I'm trying to get this right. This is us seeking information from politicians, and they are through social media replying or responding or communicating with Ghanaians all over the world.
Absolutely, and it's very amazing. It's very interesting because he's actually done a video and he's actually got a slideshow and he's actually talking, and it's very, very educating, because he can get his point across as well as we can get our point. So it's a two-way thing. It's not just us trying to tell them what to do, but they can also
tell us what they are doing.
Absolutely. And I think in a way it's good for them because they can get closer to us, because not everyone can get to see the president or the vice president.
Well, I know someone who's just seen him today.
Well, fortunately for him, but not everyone can have that sort of.
Any person with something.
Yeah, like my brother said, it's become a two-way communication now. So back in the days, we didn't used to have that privilege where you will have a politician from Ghana, for example, trying to tell people what they are actually on about and what they're actually looking to do. But now, with the advent of social media, like my brother said, you've got political people, like these politicians, they've got all their social media pages, they've got Twitter pages, they've got like Facebook and all that. And they use that as a means to actually reach the general mass as well. So it's not just a one-way thing now. It's not just we going to sort of...
It goes in and then it comes out.
And I think that has given them quite a bit of a reach as well, which is a good thing.
So do you actually think politicians interacting through the social media to Ghanaians in the diaspora and Ghanaians responding all over the world to what the politicians are saying, as you say, the vice president to be actually put stuff on Facebook telling Ghanaians all over the world what is actually going on. In your opinion, do you think it's beneficial to the system or to us? What do you think it is?
I think it's beneficial in the sense that it's cut out a bit of cost there. Back in the days, he probably has to hold a rally to be able to get to all these masses. A rally alone is expensive on its own. But now there is this cheap format, there's this cheap platform where he can express his views, tell them
that's actually a very big importance, if what you just said. Because holding a rally, we know the logistics involved. Yes. And then if he can communicate this with Ghanaians outside and through the social media, where it will have more or less the same impact as it is. I think we are posting too much on Facebook.
Yeah.
So Have you got something to say
I
about
think
that?
also it's been very beneficial for the Ghana political system because so many of us have come to different countries and we've seen the political system here and sort of abroad as well. We know how it works together in a sort of productive way. So if something's happened in Ghana which in our opinion is not very great or it's not how it should be, we now, because we're exposed to so many other different ways and better ways of doing things, we can now communicate this through social media to say, okay, this is not right, this can be done in a better way, and surely they can see that information and say, okay, you know, we can better our system.
So if I'm getting you right, what you are now telling me is social media not only allows us to acquire information and air our views, we also, based on our position in terms of those of us living in civilized societies, more civilized societies and highly democratically efficient countries, we can actually give constructive criticism to government in Ghana through social media. This is unbelievable.
Can I just say
Go on,
something?
darling.
I basically think social media gives politicians a platform to influence people on what to do, and I think it's them voicing it, but when it comes down to it, I think it's like subliminally using it to influence our decision.
The main thing, the main way it affects us, some of us live outside Ghana, and to say that we don't really care about what goes on in our home would be a lie. I think some of us have family. If there's a policy that's passed, if we think, you know, it would affect our family, maybe not us directly, but we have people living there. If it will affect them, we have the best way we can.
I think NS made an excellent point. Not only do we acquire the information or do we require the information, but the reason we want the information because the policy will actually affect somebody we like. As Sheila perfectly said, they have disappointed us on many occasions. We can talk about the health sector, the security sector, in terms of the health and safety procedures in the country, in so many different ways. It has, but it seems we've concentrated a lot about written social media. Are we going to talk about the other forms, the audio, visual forms of media, that is television and radio and stuff like that? Because I remember somebody talking about earlier on a discussion, in the first discussion, somebody was talking about, not discussion with this group, I had a different discussion somewhere else, talking about online FM station or something. What was that all about?
Well, I think you'll be amazed to know that I've got this app on my phone called TuneIn Radio.
On your mobile phone, and is it for free?
It's absolutely free, or if you've got an Android phone, I use it. But I believe it's free on most phones as well. You know, TuneIn Radio, you can tune into Ghanaian radio when you're in the UK. You can listen in, you can phone in, you can do all sorts. It's just as
Phone in whilst you're abroad, 3,000 miles away, and contribute. So not only the impact of social media, I think, is very enormous here. Because from everything I'm hearing, that all classes of people, irrespective of their education background, can still contribute. Because if you can't write on Facebook, you can listen and call in. But the question is, there are 43 different languages spoken in Ghana. Now, these radio stations, are they all in English or some local or prominent, specific prominent ethical dialect in
I think the most prominent dialect in Ghana is.
You've got radio stations for all of them?
Absolutely. So, you know, pretty much I can say that a lot of the radio stations are on TuneIn. So, you know, you can't miss it. You can't miss it.
So,
you can't miss it.
if I'm getting it right, the academic elite, the illiterate, semi-illiterate, are able to contribute to Ghana's politics through social media.
You can call in, you can air your views, you can email them, they'll read it out on the radio station. It's a live broadcast as well. So
in other languages.
Anybody,
can anybody give me any example of somebody calling from abroad that had a significant impact on the policy or decision that somebody, because we have to look at if there is an interaction, benefit here and there. Has somebody ever called or some incident where people abroad did something through social media that actually impacted on the processes in terms of the government making a decision about something?
I have an example.
Oh,
But
great.
the example I've got, I don't want to name names of any political parties because I don't want to seem to be affiliated to a particular party, but I've been to one of the main party conferences here in the UK, where I know one of the main members in that party has been summoned back to Ghana to answer questions to the head of the party for comments that she made on a radio station here in the UK.
UK.
Yes, so that is how effective that social media can be, because somebody being in Ghana can still hear and listen into what is actually happening, not just here, but in Ghana as well. So like we said earlier, it's a two-way affair. So she was summoned by the head of the political party to come and give make an account for what she said on that platform. And the reason being that she wasn't authorized to
say what she said.
From
so now, with the advent of social media, you will justifiably say, without it, she probably would have got away with it.
She would, because without her, she could have just stood anywhere and just say anything in the name of the party.
So social media now has become an integral part of Ghana's politics, for, with, and Ghanaians abroad and Ghanaians back home. Now I've got one question for everybody. If Ghanaians in diaspora fetching for information from Ghana's politicians in Ghana, what is the case of those in Ghana? Would they also use social media to fetch for information for Ghanaian politicians residing here temporarily or permanently, i.e. the embassies? Ghana's president I heard has been here for some few days. Would they, what would his relation be? Would he also use social media for the Ghanaians there to get to know what he's doing?
Yes, I believe so, because I believe, so you just said that the president of Ghana is here at this moment, and him being here doesn't mean that everything stops
back home.
So
people still want to know what he's doing here.
People still wants to know. So I believe he's on social media giving out information as to his daily routine, what he's planning to do, whether he's planning to meet maybe businessmen here, or maybe going to see some political people in this country. Whatever his itinerary is, majority of the time it will be fed back to people in Ghana, and they can have an insight into what their president is all about.
Unbelievable. So now we've come to the end of this session, and it has been amazing. And once again, thanks from my right, Beverly, Ivy, Kobe, Sheila, Ernest, Getty, and Jeffrey. You've been wonderful in this program, and then we have learned the importance of social media, its mediatory role in terms of how we relate to the government and political processes in Ghana, and even more, even sometimes we have information about their social lives of the politicians all the way back home. And so the impact and the imperativeness of social media has never been ever so important. We've seen how it has affected decisions being changed back home, giving substantive and constructive contributions and criticism to the government back home. They've taken it on board through the social media. Whereas modern social media, that is very important. Whereas before, as our brother just said, we would not, without the social media, we would not have had the information with such speed. We would never have had it, and we would never have known what is going on. So the importance of social media now is only going to get better. And
according to Michael Falcoff, visibility is a trap. I believe this theory has been proven true, as politicians source out easy and quick information through social media for campaigns freely. Shane Parker also argues that we lived on the farms, then we lived in the cities, and now we are going to live on the internet. This theory relates to the development and the growth of social media in Ghana, and I believe social media and new media will continue to play a vital role in Ghanaian politics.